Hey guys, Aaron CybertronVGC here, and today we are back for some more Series 7 action on Pokemon Showdown. We're going to be able to play in-game pretty soon on the rank ladder, so I'm really excited to switch over to rank pretty soon, but thank you as always for tuning into the Showdown episodes. In this episode, I'm going to use a mix of the Moltres team, which we had just featured a couple days ago, and the Regieleki team from yesterday. So, hope you enjoy, and thanks as always for watching. Question of the day, by the way, I want to know what your favorite Pokemon song is, because as you can tell, I add a lot of background music for these Showdown episodes. And they're all from all kinds of different Pokemon games. So I've been using, Coliseum, XD, Mystery Dungeon, Battle Revolution, but always happy to take more suggestions. While I'm on that note as well, I want to make a couple of brand new guides over the course of this weekend. So let me know what guides you'd be interested in seeing in the comments below, and I'll definitely take those into consideration. So thanks as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and let's get started with this episode. So I'm going to be using the Moltres team first, and then the Regieleki team next. So we're up against an opposing Moltres team. They have their own Regieleki, which is scary. I'm hoping that our Raichu will dissuade the Regieleki, though, a little bit. We could just go Comfy Moltres here. I mean, Raichu Moltres also isn't bad. I added a Charm, and now I have Eerie Impulse on this thing, so I have two ways to shut down attackers, basically. Yeah, actually, Raichu Moltres doesn't seem awful. I kind of like that. In the back, Kartana makes me feel like I need to bring the Incineroar, but Incineroar kind of stinks against everything else on this team. It's like, and Moltres does wall Kartana pretty hard, actually, so part of me is thinking Comfy. Like, Comfy for healing here actually seems really nice. I mean, Feeny actually looks really good, and then it's between Metagross and Comfy. I do like Metagross's damage output in this game. He does hit pretty hard. Yeah, I'm gonna bring Metagross instead. I think just that consistent damage output is really appreciated. It's going to be Raichu and Tapu Fini. Okay, that's not super ideal, I would say. I actually think I might have to try to just KO Amoonguss turn 1, because this thing's just going to set up on me if it Calm Minds here. So I'm actually just going to Volt Tackle, Dynamax, and Airstream. If it's not Koba, then we can knock this thing out. Wow, they didn't Rage Powder. It's probably Koba then, right? Okay, no, it's not. So if it's Calm Mind right now, okay, perfect. I can Eerie Impulse this thing now. Perfect. That's exactly what I want to go for. So now we can Eerie Impulse into Tapu Fini and max Airstream into Moltres. I guess I could Volt Tackle in this position too, but I'd rather just shut this thing down. Yeah, and they Dynamax because they want to snipe the Moltres. Okay, perfect. This is why I love Eerie Impulse Raichu. Okay, we get a speed boost. Even with the crit, only does like 60%. Activate Berserk, but that's fine. They're going to go Fiery Wrath and Starfall, which procs our policy. That only did 28%. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. This thing probably protects right now. Maybe I should have had Comfy. But I don't... I could either go for another Eerie Impulse onto the Tapu Fini to really make it useless. I kind of like that. I mean, Volt Tackle does a lot of damage. Like, that's the upside of using it here. But Fini is so bad if it's at multiple decreased stages of special attack. So yeah, let's just go Eerie Impulse into Fini here and Airstream into Moltres. Yeah, so now it's at -3. We get the knockout onto this as well. And if you don't target the Raichu here, yeah, it's just Starfall into Moltres. Perfect. So that's one of the reasons why I like the idea of Eerie Impulse and Charm. I feel like right now a lot of people like using Setup against us, or just Setup in general. Tapu Fini was a Pokemon I was struggling against a lot as well. So the Raichu came out perfectly for us because we had Volt Tackle, which also put on a lot of offensive pressure against both the Moltres and the Tapu Fini. I do think one of the tough things about using Moltres is that it doesn't do very much damage. Like, you saw a lot of crit max Airstream only did like 60% to the opposing Moltres, right? So it's like you really do want your boosts up, and through Charm and Eerie Impulse, I can often bait my opponent into using a super effective attack into my Moltres, and then I can go from there. So there's another Moltres team here. This one's Rain, which is interesting. I feel bad because in the original like intro to VGC or the Series 7 rule set, I didn't mention Moltres as like a Pokemon you should expect to see a lot of, but in the first couple of days, people were trending towards the other birds, but Moltres has a lot of potential. Glastrier is a problem here. Fini looks really good if we can get a couple of Calm Minds up. I could just go Raichu Moltres here. That doesn't seem terrible. The thing is that Metagross is really good here. Instant doesn't come out, I think. So I want, like, Comfy Fini also works. Yeah, you know what? I always feel like I always say, like, I want Comfy in the back. So this time we'll have Comfy in the back. Metagross, Galarian Moltres. It's not super ideal. Like, I want to Volt Switch, Max, and Darkness into Metagross right now. That's the plan I'm leaning towards, but this could go poorly if Metagross, like, Dynamaxes. Actually, I don't know if it survives if it Dynamaxes. And Moltres shouldn't do that much in return to us, so I think this is actually fine. Okay, Metagross does Max. Now, if it's AV, this might be a problem. Because then you can, like, Hailstorm into the Moltres, which wouldn't be ideal. I'm going to go into Comfy, because if I survive this turn, then I can heal back up. I don't think this KOs. Oh! Are you kidding me? That's 1%. Ah, but they don't target the, Okay, nice. They try to snipe the Raichu. Well, that works out for us then, I would say. Yeah, I'll take it. The thing is, if we get the knockout turn 1, we just insta-win there. Like, there's no way my opponent can beat this Moltres after Dynamax. With Lightning Rod support still waiting in the back. So, a little unfortunate, but that's fine. I think it's fine to go out into Raichu here. And just Volt Switch, Metagross, Max Airstream. I think a Protect here is pretty obvious, but I don't really care if you Protect. I just can't believe we missed out on the KO with that little HP. Okay, they bring out Tapu Koko, but that's fine. I actually do more damage through Volt Switch. That looks like a Assault Vest, but now I get to change the terrain. Maybe I should use Heal Pulse Feeny now that I think about it with this team. Ooh, we actually crit there, which is... We've been lucky with the crits. Yeah. I don't think that really mattered, to be honest, because my opponent's Moltres does, like, no damage in that position, but it's still helpful. I think here my play is to Max Darkness into Muddy Water and just try to knock out Glastrier. I wonder if the Metagross was EV to survive that, like, 100% of the time. I wonder if you can EV to survive it 100% of the time. Probably not, right? Because we're not max... Oh, that really doesn't do very much damage. Sheesh. Okay, they Volt Switch into Feeny. Oh, it's actually Life Orb. So Volt Switch... Oh, right. My Raichu has, like, no special attack investment. I forgot about that. Okay, is this AV? That might be AV. That would make sense based off how little I'm doing against it. But I think we're still in decent shape here. Koko comes back out. I'm at +3 special attack. I've got Raichu waiting in the back as well. And I have a speed boost on this thing. I was going to say I should have more investment to outspeed Koko, but I don't know if that's possible. I think this is AV. I'm just going to Dazzle and Wrath. Yeah. And they Volt Switch. That's fine. Now I have Raichu. The crit here was big, though, for sure. Like, being able to one-shot Galarian Moltres obviously helps. So, yeah, that calc was crazy. 96 to 99.9%. So, if we just KO Metagross turn 1, like, I didn't mind gambling there. I was worried about a Hailstorm, but if you're running Weakness Policy, you can only run 3 attacks, so... Sometimes you don't even have a super effective attack. Although, actually, you should always run Ice Punch. Never mind. I feel like Ice Punch meta is super meta right now. But, okay. Solid set of games so far, but we've definitely had a fair share of RNG. You know, that's always going to be a part of the game, but you always have to evaluate, like, did I need the RNG or not? Did I play well or not? I don't know. Maybe because I don't think this Moltres has max special attack investment. I could put more in special attack. Is this the 3rd Moltres team in a row? Oh my goodness, yeah, this really is becoming meta. That's interesting. I don't want to play the Moltres Mirror, but... Actually, Eerie Impulse is so good here, right? And Charm? So I do just go with that. Yeah, I'm just going to go Raichu Moltres for the 3rd time. Meta Feeny again? I don't know, I really like the idea of having Comfy in the back, but Meta Feeny's damage looks really solid here. Yeah, I'll go Meta Feeny. I bet I'm going to say, once again, I regret not bringing Comfy. Okay, it's the same leads. Do I want to Dynamax? I think so. Because... Oh, wait, I can't Eerie Impulse. I forgot about the Lightning Rod. That's not great. They're probably just going to Fake Out here, though, right? So I kind of want to just go into Tapu Fini. Oh, this seems crazy, but I'm considering Nasty Plotting. Nah, I think it actually might be better to just go on the offense and Airstream here into Raichu. If we knock out the Raichu, we get rid of Lightning Rod, which means my Raichu is activated. Okay, so they're max speed. Yep, they Fake Out. We didn't really do much there, but that's expected. Oh, okay, they're going to commit Max Darkness. Okay, that's good for us. Because now we're faster, right? So I can just go for another Airstream, or actually probably a Darkness here. I can also Calm Mind. I'm leaning towards Max Darkness, Calm Mind here. I don't know if Max Darkness knocks this thing out. I think it should though, right? Yeah, I'd be really surprised if it didn't. But I don't know if it's worth Calm Minding. But I don't want to activate a Policy, because this thing definitely has a Policy. Maybe Airstream Muddy Water is the play here. I guess we risk a miss here, but we managed to hit, and we get another crit. Geez, wow, that is strong. 67%. All right, we did have a -1 Spadef drop, so yeah. Okay, well that's okay, I guess. Like I'll be able to get a 3rd speed boost here if I want to. Raichu actually does damage against this thing with Volt Tackle in the late game as well. I'm probably going to get Airstreamed here. They bring out Tapu Fini, which is fine. Although I do have -1 Spadef. I don't want to break a Sash here. Maybe we sack Fini, honestly. Because, like, what's Fini doing for us at this point, right? Metagross does super effective damage into these. Or I can Protect, but... yeah, I'm just going to Muddy Water and Max Airstream into... Fini, because then it's in Volt Tackle KO range. Okay, they Protect, but that's fine. Yeah, that does nothing. Okay, we missed, but that's fine. Yeah, they're gonna Airstream into Fini. Well, this is an interesting position to be in. Because I'm at -1 Spadef, but I'm faster at least. I guess they're pretty... oh, I didn't get the speed boost on Raichu though, so the question is, how fast is your Fini? Do you outspeed me? Because if not, I can just Volt Tackle and Fiery Wrath. Actually, I probably want to Air Slash here as well. I think I'm going to go for that because I don't think my opponent's Moltres is really that scary offensively right now. So as long as we don't flinch here, we should be good. Nice. That's why you run Volt Tackle Raichu. Raichu's been so good for us this episode. Misty Seed Garchomp, though. That may be a problem. Because I get knocked out now. Well, I guess my Moltres is faster, so I can go for, like, a flinch. I think the play is the Nasty Plot here. Because you shouldn't be able to KO us. And I like Charming... actually, no, I like Eerie Impulse here. And Nasty Plot. I don't want to switch out Raichu, because I don't want to Fake Out. Yep, they're just going to Wrath. Actually, single target Rock Slide maybe does enough. Oh, no, they SD. Ooh, I like that play a lot. That's a good play. I have Ice Punch, but I think my opponent probably closes it out at this point. I misplayed the early game a little bit, I think. I get Flinch, obviously, with Fiery Wrath. I don't think it knocks out Garchomp. With the AV, I think we target the Garchomp here. So I'm going to Fiery Wrath and Ice Punch it. Yeah, that's so bulky. Do you flinch the Metagross? Or sorry, oh! Wait, they target... Do we get the Ice Punch off? Can we win? Nah, I don't think Ice Punch KOs here, actually. So probably not, because I'm not Policy'd. Would I rather freeze or paralyze? I'd rather freeze. Oh, is Ice Punch going to pick up the knockout here? Wow. We've gotten very lucky. This game, we absolutely needed the flinch to win. But I was thinking they could have just EQ'd the Metagross there. Because my Moltres isn't really the threat in that endgame. So that's the upside of using Fiery Wrath. But I think this is a really good game to go back and evaluate. Because I felt like the other games, the crits were like in positions where we were already maybe winning. This one, it felt like we absolutely needed the flinch. So what could I have done better to not be in that position? So we confirm turn 1 that they're faster. I think the problem is actually taking too much damage with Fini on turn 2. I didn't want to proc a Policy here. Switching out Fini here would have been better, I think. Yeah. Because at this point I have the Spadef drop, so there's a little downside in going into Metagross here and Max Darknessing into the Raichu. I think that's by far the best play, actually. Because then it conserves Fini for the endgame, and look at what Fini goes up against in this endgame. Moltres, Garchomp, and Fini. So it made very little sense to go for Muddy Water there. I just wanted to make sure I kept outspeeding the Moltres because they were max speed, which was kind of scary. But I kind of threw away Fini for nothing here, and if you look at how good Fini was in the matchup, it's not good to give that up, right? So like I would have conserved my battery, I would have gotten a free switch into Metagross, and that Metagross would have had an Ice Punch or a Thunder Punch into either of these two Pokemon. So I think that's like a very clear-cut play that we could have done that would have been better in this game. Here now, I guess I actually could have doubled up onto the Galarian Moltres for a KO, right? I could Air Slash Volt Tackle that slot. That may have been better, actually, yeah. Because, like, the main problem here is that their Moltres is faster than Raichu, but if I can KO this thing, that's big. Question is what... yeah, I mean, with Feeny, with no special attack on that thing, I don't think it was KOing the Raichu anyway. So, in that position, another better play we could have made in this game was double up onto Moltres, pick up the knockout onto that. Even if the Feeny Calm Minds, well, I have Charm and Eerie Impulse, I can just Eerie Impulse that thing. If you attack here, maybe... I don't think you even pick up the knockout, to be honest, before a boost. And even if you pick up the knockout, then it's my Moltres and Metagross against your Moltres and Garchomp. Garchomp doesn't have a Swords Dance boost yet, so I can just Ice Punch that slot. Granted, they could probably Fiery Wrath EQ into the Metagross. So that's a question of whether they, like, try to double up onto the Metagross. I guess that is their safest play, but I'm thinking Raichu would have survived a turn earlier. So this was a game where we definitely got bailed out by Fiery Wrath being able to flinch. You know, and you never want to be in a position where you have to rely on any RNG to win. The Swords Dance here was the big thing. I was thinking without Swords Dance, maybe Metagross could 2v1 in this position. Yeah, so we get the flinch there. Obviously, my opponent was going for a Fiery Wrath, I'm sure, with a Moltres. And if they get a Fiery Wrath off because of Rough Skin, then, you know, they definitely would have done enough to pick up the knockout. So, yeah. I was surprised Ice Punch actually picked up that knockout, but they're max speed, so I'm guessing, obviously, they don't have as much in bulk. Either way, though, we do get saved a little bit by RNG. And we were fortunate in all of these games, right? Like, this one, I think, like, Raichu was just super, super good. Actually, Raichu's been amazing in all of these, I should say. This one, I did feel like maybe was a little bit sloppy, but let's keep playing our games. I've been talking for long enough. Alright. Let's switch to Regieleki. Alright, first game, back with Regieleki, and we're actually going up against Regidrago. And the Regirock. Interesting. Regular Moltres as well. This looks like a Trick Room team for the most part, so I feel like Glastrier probably needs to come out here. Like, I'd like to set up screens, ideally, with Regieleki, and then play towards the Glastrier win con. But leading Landorus doesn't seem terrible. We'll have Glastrier in the back. How good is Electric Terrain spam against this? Pretty good if we KO Gastrodon, but Gastrodon's the big threat here, right? You know what? Let's try to... Okay, Rillaboom and Dusclops. So I get the Intimidate off. It's probably going to be Fake Out into Regieleki. So I could, like, switch out here. I could even SD, but I don't know about that. I like switching out Lando just to get rid of the terrain. And I'll still try to Reflect. Like, I think Trick Room goes up, but I can bring in Glastrier after this turn. Yeah, they crit the Fake Out. That's not great. Just because that does do more damage. That's fine, because I still have Glastrier in the back. Would I rather Reflect or Light Screen? I feel like Gastro is the bigger threat. I'm going to Reflect Volt Switch here. Okay, they Nightshade probably... Ooh, they Knock Off. Okay, so I actually get the free switch and into Glastrier, which is nice, and I get the Reflect off, which is also nice. Nightshade will KO this thing, so... They don't have Ice Resists. So, let's go out into Coco then, Dynamax and Hailstorm. My fear is if they have Will-O-Wisp Clops. I think, like... Okay, they go into Gastrodon. That's actually really good for us, because you just switched in Gastrodon on a Max Hailstorm. Ah, but they have Will-O-Wisp. Okay. Then, this is probably a loss, I think. That's one of the best ways to deal with Glastrier right now. So, nicely done by my opponent. If I wanted to get around this... Like, my win con was, like, not having... Or sorry, my first initial win con was like, oh, if they don't have Will-O-Wisp, then Glastrier should sweep. But if they have Will-O-Wisp, then you can see exactly what happened. I didn't set up Light Screen either, so that's not great. I'm going to Protect here. And go for a Knuckle, so then I can Hailstorm next turn. They're going to Pain Split, but that's fine. I'm not going to target this thing for now. Okay. They're not Dynamaxing that, which is interesting. Okay, they Earth Power. This is still doable, actually, because of potential terrain spam in this late game. I'm going to go out into Landorus, because I think you're going to Earth Power again, and go for a Hailstorm now. They should protect this thing. Yeah, good play. Very, very good play. I don't have a super good play there myself, but the upside is I do get Landorus in, right? And I can click Earthquake now, which should just KO. Yeah, I'm just going to EQ Protect here, I think. They could go on to Rillaboom, but that's fine. Like, I would think my opponent maybe... Actually, their best play, I was going to say, was switch Gastro into Rillaboom and set up Trick Room again. I wonder if I could have just crashed there. Ooh, they Will-O-Wisp into Dusclops instead of Trick Room, and they miss. We've been very lucky today. I feel like I'm using up all my good luck. I don't want the luck now. I want it for when I compete. Regirock comes out. Okay. Regirock. I could just pick up knockouts here. Like, I want to EQ. They haven't Dynamax yet, right? So, like, I think Regirock maybe Dynamaxes. I'm going to go EQ and just Ice Skull Crash here. Yeah, they Dynamax Regirock. That's really cool. We almost KO'd Dusclops. Yep, that's policy too, so probably Rockfall into Glastrier. Oh, they target Landorus, though. Okay. I think it's still over, because we don't have damage against this thing now. They have Sandstorm up, and they have Terrain Control. So the Will-O-Wisp was what really shut me down here, and that's why it's a really good move. Maybe Lum would be better on this Glastrier specifically, because this is my Trick Room counter. I actually think that'd be a really good adjustment to make, now that I think about it. Is there any way we can win this? I think I'd have to hope for a throw, like for them to like go for a glide instead of a fake out, and I crit Rising Voltage onto Regirock. I don't even think that KOs though, given that this is Dynamaxed and Sandstorm is up. But yeah, they went for the fake out, which is correct. And Rockfall. Really cool team. Really cool team. Yeah, I do think our team has a disadvantage, and my opponent played perfect. Not perfect. Actually, no, I would say they played perfectly, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really even point out to any play that was, like, super bad. At all. Or not even just super bad, just, like, bad. I think they played exactly like they needed to in this matchup. So, yeah, they did that really well. And maybe I do change Glastrier to Lumberry. I'll see how many more Will-O-Wisp Dusclopses we run into, because I'm curious how meta that is right now. But if it is as meta as I think it is, then I think we have to put a Lumberry on Glastrier instead. I guess the problem, though, is that then my win condition is knocking out Dusclops after Will-O-Wisp. So we need to chunk away at it and do like 60% of damage so that I can finish it off with a Max Hailstorm. I also could have maybe just brought better Pokemon in that matchup. Rillaboom is such a common lead against us. But I can see Tornadus and Metagross here as well. Tornadus, Metagross. I kind of like Whimsicott Landorus here. Terrain, Electric Spam is really good outside of Rillaboom. I don't think I bring Glastrier. Yeah, Metagross feels like a Musbrain, so I go Metagross Coco. Okay, they go Rillaboom, Instant. That's okay. The thing here is I can just Helping Hand attack turn 1. And pick up a knockout onto either of these. It's kind of tempting. I do want a Swords Dance. If getting that off would be really nice. I guess if we get rid of Rillaboom, we have Terrain Control for the rest of the game. So I'm going to Helping Hand Dynamax Airstream Rillaboom. This could switch out into Metagross. That's the one problem. Yeah. That was such a free position to Swords Dance. If we Swords Danced, we would have just won instantly. But Helping Hand Airstream does 50%? Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't expecting that much damage, but I'll take it. I'm just going to Helping Hand Quake here then, I think. And they Dynamax. Okay, I think we KO this. No Max Guard. Yeah, that's why I run Helping Hand. I didn't think Airstream would do that much damage, though. Wow. Alright, so we're still in this. It was just frustrating because if I SD that first turn, like I don't see how my opponent can win after that. Let's bring out Metagross now. We can give that speed boosts. They bring out Urshifu, which is... I was going to say it's fine, but maybe it's not fine. Because you can crit Wicked Blow into Metagross. And that hurts a lot. I can Airstream Urshifu, obviously. Or I can just knock out the Incin here. But I think I go for the Airstream because I need damage onto Urshifu here. Yeah, it's sashed. Okay, we get a speed boost with both. There's Wicked Blow. Is he Blitz? Okay, Parting Shots. That's not bad. That's actually really good, I think, because Now, I have 2 Pokemon that outspeed your Urshifu. I have Coco. Can Swords Dance. I want to change terrain, ideally, because glides are scary right now. The play I'm actually leaning towards is, like, go on into Metagross and Earthquake here. I'm gonna go for that, because I want to change the terrain in this late game. Okay, they detect. Yeah, they glided into Metagross. It's Life Orb. Oh, I didn't expect that. I wonder if that just one-shots Metagross. Or, sorry, Landorus. That might. Oh, but I can just go out into, Coco to change the terrain. But I don't know if Rock Slide KOs. Oh. Do I really self-EQ? That might be the play. Go into Coco and Earthquake. Because if I do this, then they don't have terrain control anymore, right? And Metagross does really well damage-wise into what my opponent has in the back. Okay, they went for Sucker Punch. Pick up the knockout. Oh, they didn't go for Glide, though, right? Which means it's a Wood Hammer. Oh, it's a knockoff, actually. Okay. Life Orb Brillo is really interesting. I think I don't do enough damage into Incin, so I think my opponent wins this one. I can Ice Punch at best, but I wasn't expecting Life Orb Rillaboom. And like I said, this was a perfect opportunity to Swords Dance on turn 1. Like a perfect opportunity. So I have not been playing to my win conditions well enough with this team. And unfortunately, I think one of the weaknesses of Regieleki, if you're not running Protect, is like we went up against Fake Out in both games, right? Rillaboom or Incin. And I didn't capitalize enough off baiting those Pokemon to come in. Oh, they don't KO there, though. Oh, but Knockoff's just going to one-shot us, yeah. The Life Orb here is so big. So, well played, well played. Self-EQ into Coco maybe wasn't the best play there. Like, but I don't think Rock Slide's KOing, nor do I think Fly is KOing. So, that's why I just needed one Swords Dance off in this game. So, that was my mistake. Swords Dance Landorus is really good, so I'm sad that I didn't get to show you guys like the true potential in that match. Because if we do get it off there, I don't see how my opponent can come back. Because Lando has super effective attacks into everything. So, yeah. I think that was just one where I didn't execute properly, but had the right tools to win. Still surprised Helping Hand Airstream did 50% to Metagross, though. That was really impressive damage. Regieleki was going to be kind of tough to bring into this game. And I think Fake Out's probably one of the best ways to counter it, so my opponent having 2 Fake Out users just made my life that much more difficult. They don't have terrain control here, so Electric Terrain looks really good. I want to set up screens, I think. Mungus may be a problem. Max Metagross is actually really cool here, I think. I'm going to go Whimsicott, Regieleki, Coco, Metagross, I think. There you go, Whimsicott, Lapras. That's fine by me. Unless you're max speed, I honestly really want to switch out into Tapu Koko turn 1 and just Rising Voltage into Lapras. Because, like, we'll probably outspeed the Lapras even under Tailwind. Oh, they Dynamax. They Tailwind. That felt good. That definitely felt good. Well, that's why Regieleki is good. It one-shot a Dynamax Lapras. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I put some more speed investment on this thing, by the way, so that I always outspeed max speed Moltres, because I found that that was actually a condition, or a situation I found myself in more than I was expecting. So, yeah. Oh, I think it's our first opponent. Yeah. But we don't have Raichu this time around. I've got my own Regieleki this time around, though. And 2 electric users. Amoonguss Feeny, I think, once again, is something we have to show respect to. I like Regieleki Lando here, with, I think, Coco and Metagross in the back. Let's go with that. I'm really disappointed about how I played this game. Or not this game. This one was tough because of Will-O-Wisp, and so that's like I said, this is an example of a game where you look at it and be like, did my team have enough resources to win? And honestly, I'm not sure the answer would have been yes. And so, like, one fix you can make, for example, is Lumberry on Glastrier. So, like, when I practice VGC, for example, I'll be like, is Weakness Policy coming in effect more often, or should I use something like Lumberry? That's a question I'll ask myself a lot. They go Regieleki and Instant, which is... So this is perfect as a Swords Dance opportunity, I think. Are they more physical or special? I think I'd rather set up a Light Screen for now. So Light Screen SD, turn 1. Ooh, they don't even... oh, that might be Parting Shot into us then. Yeah, okay. That's still okay, though, because the thing is that my opponent's Regieleki should not put on any offensive pressure into Landorus. So what that means is, sure, something comes in, sure, you get a Reflect Off, but are you going to be able to stop me from Swords Dancing again? I don't think so. Because now I can Light Screen. Oh my goodness, wait. I really want to just go for the same like Rising Voltage play we made in that last game. I might go for it. Okay, they switch an Instant. It might be a Protect here, so let's see. I can't believe this is working. But this is why I love Regieleki. Like, it can do stuff like that. What other, like, what Pokemon can set up screens, have a Light Clay, and one-shot, like, Dynamax, Lapras, and Moltres, right? Like, it's just Regieleki with Rising Voltage. Oh my goodness. Okay. Electric stuff feels good here, I think. Feels very good. I've got... Glastrier actually does a lot of damage. I think Dark Urshifu is something that's really rising in usage. I'm leaning towards a Regieleki Landorus lead again, although I think Metagross could be... actually, Metagross is super effective coverage into almost everything. It's just, like, the reason why I keep leading Regieleki Landorus is because of the Swords Dance potential, and I messed it up in that previous game, but I think it could definitely work here. So Regieleki, Landorus, Koko, probably Metagross. The Tailwind here is potentially nice, but Koko and Regieleki are already faster, so... Yeah. Okay, Instant Suicune. That's not great. Do I Dynamax Regieleki for the memes? Because I could Dynamax Lightning go into Tapu Koko. I'm not gonna lie, I actually don't even think that's that bad of a play. I think my opponent's play is to just Ice Beam. Fake Out. I think I shall play safer this first turn, though. I'm going to Rising Voltage and just go into Koko. I'm sure it's Fake Out here, but yeah. Maybe I should have maxed. I don't know. It would have been sick. Oh, it has access... Dang, I totally forgot it has access to Tailwind. I thought that was like an old tutor move. So that's bad. Max Lightning actually would have been the play there, then. We'll probably still outspeed here. I'm honestly down to just Rising Voltage and Volt Switch here. Yeah. Even with Tailwind, they don't outspeed. I could go out into... I think we should go out into Metagross, because they should be Parting Shotting here. Yeah. And you can see that actually, with Clear Body, they're forced to stay in, which is really sick. The value of Regieleki is that this thing's so fast. Okay, they bring out Urshifu, which means you're probably going to Wicked Blow into Metagross. Actually, I think targeting Regieleki may be better here, but what I can do is Dynamax the Metagross. They only have 2 turns of Tailwind left. Let's go into Landorus here. I know Intimidate doesn't do anything against this if it's Wicked Blowing, but I still think that's okay. And let's... Well, actually, I don't know if I want to Dynamax, because 2 Wicked Blows maybe is still a KO onto us with crits. Although I do think they should target the Regieleki slot here. We just want to solid Tailwind. Okay, let's go into Koko. I think maybe I can serve my Dynamax for Landorus. I like that more, actually, and I'm just going to Meteor Mash. I'll let you get the KO onto the Metagross here. Oh, they Protect! Huh, okay. Well, they're stalling out their own Tailwind. There's only one more turn of Tailwind left. But they can Airstream now with Salamence, I suppose. I mean, I have Fairy coverage here, which looks great. I want to switch into Landorus here, because what that does is terrain's going to expire soon, so I can then reset it. I could Dynamax Metagross now, actually. I'm not totally against that. I'm thinking Max, Dynamax, and Steel Spike into Urshifu here. Yeah, they Dynamax Salamence. I can get a Hailstorm there, I guess. Should be Wicked Blow. Oh, they Max Quake there too. Okay, that might be big. We survive though. Okay. They need a Wicked Blow into Metagross. They're out of terrain, but Salamence is probably max speed and outspeeds. I think if we KO Urshifu, we win though. So I'm going to EQ and Steel Spike in this position. Yeah, they Airstream. Doesn't do much though. Okay, nice. So we knock out this, and this is perfect because I've stalled out terrain enough where I can just bring Tapu Koko back out now, right? Yeah. So they do have a speed boost, which I guess is scary. And they have Max Quake, which is also potentially scary. I'm down to just go into Regieleki Protect here, so then I can bring out Landers and just Intimidate, because you should be physical here. They actually opt for Airstream, which is fine by me. Because like I'm pretty sure we still outspeed the Instant here. Yeah, so I like going out into Landers here. And we could even Volt Switch. Part of me wants to just actually... Wait, why don't we just Rising Voltage Instant and switch into Landorus? Because I don't think Salamence can knock out Regieleki at -2 attack, right? Maybe with the Dragon type attack. Let's see. Oh, Dragon Dances. Okay. Dude, Rising Voltage... Like, this episode just featured it so much, but... Oh my gosh. Okay. I mean, that should be game. I can just Volt Switch and Rock Slide now. Yeah, they just EQ. I don't know if that even KOs. No, it does. Rock Slide. Oh, it's Moxie. That's pretty cool. Wow. Life Orb single target Rock Slide just picks up the knockout there. Oh my gosh. Alright. I'll play one more game with the Moltres team. I think, if anything, though, these last few games are a perfect demonstration of the potential Regieleki could have, right? Like, how many forfeits did it cause just from being able to one-shot a big threat? A lot. A lot. So, that was cool. Okay, this is like a Trick Room team, but Speed Swap. I mean, this was legal in early 2020, so that's interesting. I guess Pheromosa wasn't. So Speed Swap Belly Drum stuff is obvious. Speed Swap Belly Drum. But I can taunt with Comfy. Do I really think my opponent's going to go with... I kind of want to just go Comfy Moltres, honestly. Because I can just Brutal Swing. And with Meta Feeny in the back. This might be a mistake if they prioritize the Snorlax-oriented games. Let's see. NDD Lax. I see what they're going for. I think it's just Belly Drum Follow Me here for them. And then what they're going to do, I think, is bring out this. The Pheromosa. And Speed Swap into Snorlax. But we can deny the Speed Swap by switching out into Feeny. No, we can't. I mean, I wanted Draining Kiss and Fiery Wrath here. If they... Oh, they didn't follow me. That's interesting. Oh, they did. Never mind. It's Colbur. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I mean, we have Metafini in the back, so it's not awful, right? Like, you have to Dynamax here and follow me, I think. I'm down to just Floral Healing and Fiery Wrath again. Because, like, you take so much damage that Metagross should just be in KO range from a max move from the back, right? It's actually not that much damage. If it gets its berry back here, we might just lose. It doesn't get its berry back, but I don't have, like, a fighting type attack. And there's the Speed Swap stuff now. If I'm my opponent, what am I doing? I would Speed Swap into Snorlax. Speed Swap into Snorlax and Max Quake into Metagross. I could go into Feeny, Draining Kiss, but Pheromosa's going to be sashed all the time, I think. I could Trick Room here. As crazy as that seems, that might be the move. Yeah, there's the Speed Swap. There's the Max Quake. Well, I did what I needed to that turn, but I don't even think I survived this turn. Like, I don't think we can KO the Snorlax here. It's too bulky. I mean, I can Draining Kiss, Dynamax, and Steel Spike, but I don't think that's enough for a KO. Maybe. Oh, they just speed swap back. That was really cool. I didn't think about that. Yeah, well done. This is definitely something that you should expect to run into, so I need to make my team better so that I don't, like, I need to have an answer against that. That's like, unacceptable. It's like, if we flinch turn 1, we just win, but you shouldn't bank it on a flinch. So, what could I have done differently? My team actually really... This team falters against Belly Drum Lax super hard. Like, I think... What could I have even done better? Because how do I beat this lead, I guess, is my question, right? Because I can't ignore the follow me, and I don't have spread damage either. This is a really hard lead to beat with this team. And this team takes advantage of the fact that my team is, like, more passive, right? Which is kind of the idea behind my Swords Dance Life Orb Landorus. So, yeah. Really cool. I love the Pheromosa Snorlax combo here, and I think really well executed by my opponent as well. And I think this is an example of a game where I don't know if I have the tools to really deal with this. So I need better tools for it. For example, if I had Hammer Arm on Metagross, that could have been interesting, because I can at least Hammer Arm. But actually, I guess it didn't matter because of the Speed Swap shenanigans, which is really cool. I needed to deny the Speed Swap then, I guess. But if that has a Focus Sash, I don't see how I deny it. I guess maybe Moltres can take a +4 replenish, so then maybe turn 1 our play is to Dynamax, Draining Kiss, Max Airstream, KO this thing, let them bring in Pheromosa, and then just double up on Pheromosa the next turn again. Hope to survive a replenished and then heal. But not having a fighting type attack here really punishes us against BD Snorlax, so yeah, cool to see that strategy come back. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Regieleki really came through for us today, but Raichu had some really good games as well. So took a couple of L's, but I think we learned a lot from all of those, and overall some really cool teams that we lost to, so never feel bad about that, especially in the early meta. So, I mean, in the end, it was what? We went up against a really cool Snorlax Belly Drum team with speed swap stuff. Pheromosa is just such a good speed swap user. I was using that in VGC 2017 for a bit, if you remember. We went up against this Regirock, which was super cool. Will-O-Wisp Dusclops here was what made things tricky. And what happened in this match? I self-EQ'd myself, which wasn't good. This was, I think, out of the 3 games, the one that I probably had the biggest potential to win, because we had a good matchup. The other 2, I'd say the matchup wasn't ideal, and our opponents played really well. This one, our opponent played really well out of what I think was a pretty bad matchup, and we just needed to Swords Dance. So not Swords Dancing on turn 1 here was kind of a grief. And in retrospect, like, there's really not much to worry about turn 1 damage-wise, especially because we Intimidate both here. So a Swords Dance here would have probably just sealed up this game instantly, and so I showed you... I did not show you the potential of Swords Dance Landorus in this match. The others, I think, my team was not well constructed enough, so that I had to, like, play really, really... Like, I think the problem is that in this game, for example, I didn't have good damage output against Dusclops in the early game, and then the Will-O-Wisp plus Trick Room combo is really tough. And these things aren't, like, super obscure either, so it's, like, things that I need to be better prepared for. And then in the other game, we, in the Snorlax game, I just don't have good answers against Snorlax with that team. So I gotta go back to the drawing board and think what I can add to that team. I mean, Snorlax is also pretty niche right now, so, like, sometimes you just have to accept you're not gonna have a perfect matchup against every team, because you're never going to have a perfect matchup against every team. So that might be an example where it's like, if I were building for a tournament, I would think, you know, how many Snorlaxes do I actually think I'm going to go up against? Like, maybe I just accept that this is not going to be a positive matchup, but if my team does well against the majority of the metagame, then I'll take a slightly negative matchup against something that's not as common. That being said, I think now that you've seen that, it's definitely something you should watch out for, because it is really strong. I mean, Speed Swap onto it makes it super, super powerful, and I felt like I didn't really have great counterplay to it, which was just, yeah, me not having a good enough team to deal with it. So yeah, and good execution by my opponent. The Colbur on the NDD is super, super interesting. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you so much as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all next time. All right, peace.